Hi, I'm Maisie and this is CCN's Weekly News 5 at 5, August 6th. This week's news is again dominated by the COVID-19 lockdown as cases increase.
School gates shut after two Lake Memorial Primary School students tested positive to COVID-19.
Their father tested positive, and obviously they've been at school with other students and teachers over the last week. Not a full complement of students, of course, because most parents were keeping their kids at home, but certainly there were a number of students there. And
their older sibling also returned a positive result after attending Morisset High School during their infectious period, potentially exposing more than 600 students and teachers to the virus, as well as their families.
So look, obviously what we've seen at Morisset is a concern because they weren't under lockdown. So you've got a lot more students and staff at the school itself.
And high school students are close to their peers and their friends. Look, we're hopeful that doesn't spread right across the board, but there's every chance that it will.
Central Coast Local Health District can confirm a total of 9 cases of COVID-19 have been identified in the region as of August 6th. 8 cases reside in the same household. 1 case is included in today's numbers. 7 household contacts of this case were identified and have now also tested positive for COVID-19. Investigations are ongoing into the source of the infection, and this information comes as COVID-19 fragments were also detected at the Woy Woy and Charm Haven sewage treatment plants.
COVID-19 fragments have also been detected at the Charm Haven sewage treatment plant, as well as Woy Woy's sewage plant.
This is very concerning. Having these detections of COVID in the sewer system is a precursor that there are undiagnosed cases in the community. So what is important to all of those people around the Woy Woy area, whether it be Patonga, Pearl Beach, all of those areas that feed into the sewer system, they need to go and get tested. Because again, you may be carrying the virus and not even be aware of it at the moment.
Hundreds of Central Coast residents were left frustrated and angry over the weekend when their Pfizer vaccination appointments, many of which had been made months in advance, were diverted to HSC students in Sydney's COVID hotspot. Member for Dobell Emma McBride is calling on both the federal and state government to work together to establish a mass vaccination hub on the Central Coast.
Hunter and Central Coast residents have been bombarded with COVID vaccine cancellation text messages.
The Premier is standing up every day and telling people in our region to get vaccinated. And as those words are leaving her mouth, people are receiving text messages cancelling their appointments. It's just wrong and it needs to be fixed.
Meanwhile, the Parliamentary Secretary for the Central Coast, Adam Crouch, has defended his government and says it's a federal issue.
Well, we have asked the Premier and the Health Minister to, first and foremost, make sure that they redirect those appointments that have been cancelled for people on the Central Coast as a matter of priority.
CCN has been informed that the reallocated Pfizer jabs will be replaced on the Central Coast. State Minister Brad Hazzard has also given his confirmation the region's supply will be reinstated.
And I was really pleased to learn early this morning of the Prime Minister's advocacy and drive to ensure that all of the vaccines, the Pfizer vaccines that have been taken from regions like the Central Coast and redirected back to Sydney were going to be returned as through a process of providing additional Pfizer vaccines directly to the New South Wales government.
And after all of that, it was announced this morning that Year 12 students in Sydney's LGAs of concern will not return to school later this month, with all HSC trials to be done at home under the government's revised plan. Lucy Wicks has since come on board and agrees with Labor MPs that a mass vaccination hub should be established within the region. Now let's go to Dave, who has more on council.
Council has commissioned an independent review of the model governing its own water and sewage operations, which CEO David Farmer says will explore if there are opportunities to produce better value and return on investment for the community. Whatever that means. Despite assurances from Central Coast Council Administrator Rick Hart that he is against any sell-off or privatisation of the council's water and sewage assets, the United Services Union, USU, is concerned that a review now underway could open the door to privatisation. Results of the review are expected to be presented to Council in the coming months. So, hey, we've streamlined our 5 at 5 program so that this week's sport and weather reports will be on our website and our socials.
And of course, all of these stories and thousands more can be found on our website without a paywall or in this week's Coast Community News, Coast Community Chronicle and the Pelican Post. Remember to subscribe to all of our Twitter, Facebook and Instagram pages for updates throughout the week, and keep an eye out for Sky Hull's video updates online and on social media. We leave you this week with a little insight into some of the good news that is happening across the region. With so many people facing financial hardship, Cupcake celebrity Kyla has joined the Shoebox Revolution to help feed local families struggling to put food on the table. We hope you have a safe weekend and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Down in the heart of Gosford, Cakes by Kyla has been cheering up frontline workers one free cupcake at a time. Over the last year, Kyla Daniels' Pay It Forward initiative has donated thousands of sweet treats thanks to the Central Coast community. But now she's stepped it up a notch and is dishing out emergency hampers to coasties in need.
Yeah, I think this time around people are in need of something a little bit more, so this is a little bit more helpful. So it's one thing to bring people joy, it's another thing to be able to help people out daily and with the items that they really physically need.
However, it wouldn't be a possibility without local organisation Shoebox Revolution, who've been sent into overdrive in recent weeks.
We make care packages for the homeless on the Central Coast. We've also expanded now to Sydney, which is really cool. But basically it's just a shoebox full of non-perishable food items, toiletries, and we do warmth during the winter and then sun protection during the summer. But at the moment, we've actually started doing emergency relief hampers as well. So we're trying to give to those who potentially are spending all of the money that they have on their rent right now to just alleviate a bit of that financial stress and help provide them some food and toiletries for their families.
It's a cause very close to 8-year-old volunteer's heart.
Yeah, well, at least I have a roof over my head and I'm not living on the streets, so that's how we try to help.